to the Boom Juice Video Connection with hosts Jeff Jarvinen and Sammy Maida. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The clock on the wall says it's 12 noon.
Thank you, everybody, for coming back to Boom Juice, episode 11. We're glad you're here with us. Sammy, on deck or backstage, is it? Is it backstage or on deck now?
I would say it's backstage.
Okay.
Backstage at the deck.
Who's our guest? Who's our guest?
All right. So we've been following these guys for quite a while. They are the up and coming, I'd say one of the top acts, if not the top act in the Duluth Superior area. They are Indecent Proposal.
Yes, and as Sammy had just said, we look at this group as a real up-and-coming Northland legends personification kind of thing. We see them fitting right in. We're glad to have them here. They've got a busy schedule, and we're going to be back in just a flash with our guests from Indecent Proposal.
That's right, baby.
Welcome back, kids. We're here in the studio at PAC Television Studios with our good friends, our new friends, Indecent Proposal. And I want to introduce to you Josh Beckman, Terry Beckman,
Terry Beckman,
and Josh Brown.
Yep.
And of course, you know this cat right here. So, gentlemen, welcome. Thanks for taking the time to
thanks for having
to
us.
come here. I
We're
mean,
happy to be
really,
here.
really and truly. As we had talked about earlier, you know, Sammy and I have talked about this, and our generation goes back before you guys in the music scene. Sammy's been playing.
Well, certainly yours does.
Well, for my guess,
Yes.
forever. I've been around the music scene for 50 years, not as a musician, but as a producer, promoter, slash, you know, carry the Hammond organ kind of guy, you know. Anyways,
Utility player.
yeah,
Yeah.
utility.
Yeah.
At any rate,
Jack of all trades.
it's grand that you're here,
Jack
and
of Skellington.
now you're a 4-piece group. Terry, you said you're a 4-piece, 5-piece. What? Do the clarification.
I would say that we're a 5-piece, and the only reason that we say that we are a 4-piece is because we aren't always a 5-piece at every show.
But like Green Day.
Our
You got
few-
that fourth guy that's always with him, like on the road and like in the studio writing and stuff, but he doesn't necessarily want to always take part in like this
Right.
kind of stuff. You know?
So, yeah. So we have 4 very active members, and then we have a bonus 5th if you're lucky to see him at one of our shows.
Utility player.
Yes.
Great.
Just like you
Yeah.
were saying.
Okay. We're very well acquainted.
But he also helps out a lot with things behind the scenes, you know, not just performing shows. Like right now, we're working on a new single, and he's working on that with us as well. So, you know, he's definitely plays his part.
Very cool.
Now, you had just said earlier, we had chatted a little bit earlier, this group actually had its inception in 2022. You guys have come a long way in a little over a year. I mean, we're impressed, and that's why you're here, and that's why we think you've got something going together. Now, the other thing I want to say is we'll probably put up your website address, which is a little quirky. We'll put that up at the end of the show. But you have a tremendously cool website, and it's what all bands should be doing. And I always take it to the next limit. You know, don't do some dime store crap. Do some $1.50 crap. You know, and
Yeah.
yours is really nice, and I appreciate
Well, thank
that
you.
very much. Yeah.
Yeah. I actually do a lot of the work on that. You know, it's through a local company here, but I'm always updating it. Actually, just this week I submitted a full, complete redesign. So
you're
within the
putting-
next week or 2, you'll see a completely
Oh,
So you're
okay.
putting
two-faced
dates, you're putting in vids, you're putting in promo pics and things. Yeah.
all that.
Those are all already there.
And also just deciding
Just changing
how
how it
does
looks.
everything look? How should it be arranged? How should it be presented? You know, and
Spruce it up.
that's just one element. I mean, you also have to cover all your social media, and
Right.
I mean that's a whole feat in itself. And so we've partnered with a couple entities to help us with that. But you know, you're right. We have made tremendous leaps and bounds, but I can't sit here and tell you it's just because of the members of the band. We really pride ourselves with our connections and like our jacks of all trades or our utility players, if you will.
Of course,
Um,
of course.
You know, so we really identify talents in different areas that can help complement our brand, and we just say, hey, you get over here, come on, let's get indecent. You know?
Well,
I like
now,
that.
Yeah.
Speaking
It
of
sells.
Yeah.
speaking of indecent, your logo is quite cool. So I just
Oh, thank
wanted
you.
to mention that. But you know, some of the elements of what makes maybe a group a
Shut up, the
legend in
elements.
any part of the country um, is there's a lot of things. I mean, it's music, it's musicianship, it's appearance, it's how you look on stage. You know, Sammy knows this, and I said to my audience, you know, I just cringe when I see bands going on stage and they look like they just got off the third shift at Menards.
Oh, dude. Oh, my gosh. You know what?
Now,
Yeah.
you know what? You know,
Yeah.
I know it's a different time, and you know I'm from a different generation, but
It's actually from a different planet.
Yeah.
but
that quiet.
even when I look at a video from Indecent Proposal, you look like you're rockers out there. I mean, you've taken the time to just do something to make it look like rockers. And of course, Josh, well, there it is right there. I mean,
Yeah.
there's your front guy.
This
He's
is a
He's in the
sweatshirt.
cocoon right
This
now.
is a sweatshirt from my sister, and these pants are also from my sister. And actually, I think everything I'm wearing
His
was purchased
his
for me
sister's
by my
clothes.
sister.
is what
She's my
he's saying.
designer.
Okay,
Yeah.
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 So, yeah.
I think his aunt wants to be my designer though,
Yeah.
so they can compete. I selected the sunglasses myself.
He's
happy
got
man.
the following. I mean, it's interesting because, you know, not that
It is really me. See,
we don't think that we're necessarily big or on any level or anything. I mean, we're becoming locally known, which is great. But it's really funny because I'll go run errands day to day, and I won't be recognized by anybody. But this guy goes to the gas station, and instantly people are like,
Hey, I
"Decent
saw you.
proposal?
I saw you. on
Decent
the-
proposal."
I feel like a big part of it is like I also like growing up. I'd noticed everybody with an afro.
True.
Like they just stand out.
That's what they call your basic famous.
Yeah, and so
I
like,
blend in with the Northland.
yeah, and then like on top of that, I also have a tri-colored afro. And so
Sure.
like it's like you see that one time and you're like that's weird. You know,
Yeah.
and then like you see it in person, you're like, wow, it's weird in person.
Josh,
too.
you know what? Not to sell that short, it is. You have much more than that on stage. You have a persona coming up on stage, and I don't want to compare you to
Thank you.
somebody like Mick Jagger, but you have to understand what made Mick Jagger
We've
and
heard
the
it before.
Stones so popular
Yeah.
back in the day is Mick's persona.
Oh yeah,
'Cause
he's
he
one
just-
of my
he
he's
just
one of
went-
my favorite.
He went
all-time
balls
favorites.
out over the top,
Oh yeah.
and
I like that he
Every-
learned and he
every-
took like in an interview he was talking about how he took what he loved from Tina Turner and built on that, you know.
Right.
But he's very open about that, and like I'm open about that for like about Mick Jagger. Like
Yeah.
I'm taking things that I love that Mick Jagger does, that like Eddie Vedder does, you know, Steven Tyler, like
Right.
the people that I look up to in terms of
there you go.
performers.
There
and
it
like
is.
I'm just doing the same thing, and I hope it comes off as original. You know, I think you kind of find your own
Right.
stuff
You
that
take,
do
you
on
take
stage.
your little pieces
you
of
know,
things, you
and
put them together, you make it your own, and then
Yeah.
you move on with it.
I
yeah.
feel like it probably looks good when it doesn't feel like you're trying, like
Right.
when we're
It's
just all
natural.
kind of up there jamming and time
See,
kind of flows.
I
state or
actually saw
whatever.
your video for Californication, which is it's a
Oh,
cover.
which
Mhm.
one? Yeah, Californication by the Red Hot Chili
Red Hot
Peppers.
Chili Peppers.
Not
Yeah.
by
Speaking
us.
of great-
And
speaking
not
of
owned
great
by
bands,
us,
yeah.
and not recorded by us, and we also don't play it ever live.
Yeah.
He's lying.
That was,
But what the?
That was.
But when I saw that,
Which
so,
one?
so when I saw, I think it was our RTs, but
Yeah.
because I think I saw it on Sparky's website. But anyway,
Yeah.
I saw that and the stage presence and everything. What kind of struck me was it was naturally original. Nothing was forced. It wasn't phoned in. It wasn't phony, and it wasn't
Just like a recent video, probably.
Yeah.
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 I think it was.
Yes.
And I'm glad you've noticed that too. I mean, honestly, at this point, we've done over 100 shows in the short amount of time that we've been together. I mean, we.
Oh, it's like 200 now. It was like 100. It was like 130 like in our first year. It was like
Yeah.
That's jamming a lot.
I mean, we've played on stages the size of this coffee table. We've played on stages the size of this room. And so, I mean, in that time, what I'm basically getting at is we've come a long way from the stages that are the size of a coffee table.
Well, Jeff and I
Um,
studied, and well, we didn't go to college, but we studied. And so we pull in the community and the musical cats around town, and they all speak very highly of you guys.
Oh, really?
Do they?
That's interesting.
That's interesting because they don't speak to us.
I
or otherwise.
I have to say, I have seen glimpses of you guys playing, and I do fully intend to come and videotape a show or two coming
Oh,
up
yeah,
in the
for sure.
future. One thing I want, before we go too far though, I wanted to say this, and for the audience, of course, lead vocalist, and you play guitar too, Josh Brown, Terry, this is lovely. Terry Slumbag Beckman. Now,
Slum
now
bucket.
get
Slum
this,
bucket.
Terry,
Slum bucket.
Slum bucket.
Terry,
Slum
Slum
bucket.
bucket.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You really took this to the edge.
Yeah.
I like it.
Hitting the edge.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
The edge.
edge. Bass player, slum.
yeah.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
My car.
Doesn't
Jevin-
Judge play guitar?
Jevin,
Yeah, he does.
Jevin Joki on drums.
Yep.
Fabulous job. And now Peter Dotson is one of your players.
Yep.
Who
He's
might
the
be
fifth
that?
guy.
Who might be the
He's
fifth
the
guy?
fifth guy that
He's
we're
the
talking
fifth
about.
guy.
Yeah.
The fourth member is Jason Soderlund.
Jason
He also does a lot of solo shows as under the name Jason Owen Music.
Okay.
Yeah, he's great in his own, but he's added the perfect element to our setup. I mean, one of the things I get a kick out of about him is, two things that define his whole image are his purple scarf that he wears, and then he's got that resonator guitar that you hear on Late in the Morning. And when he wails on that thing, man, it just,
We all agree he's the coolest person in the band.
it's insane.
Like,
Yeah.
especially when we were watching like the footage, like just like you're sitting behind like the camera operator dude, or like watching the footage as soon as it's shot, and I was like sitting behind when they were doing one of Jason's things, and I remember saying out loud, I was like, he's the coolest guy.
Yeah.
Like,
He's
he's
so
the
cool.
coolest. The sunglasses on, like, I'm like, man, you can't beat that, dude.
I don't know that that's strange for any band, because it seems like in every band there's one guy who just always looks like a rock star no matter what he does or whatever.
Mhm.
But like you're saying
Jason.
about this person, now that's very interesting, very cool, very
John
cool.
Denver.
We all have our different characters, and we're all very different in our own ways. I mean, honestly, like for me, once I'm done on stage, I go home to my wife and kid in
Right.
suburbia, and I have to play a completely different role.
So you're a lunchbox rocker.
Right, exactly.
He's a latchkey rocker.
Yeah, there you go. That's
He's a latchkey bassist.
Yeah.
Now,
But-
Terry, you and I had mentioned over the phone this past week that I kind of give a little analogy between you guys are up and coming and you're rising quite fast. Same thing happened with Trampled by Turtles a few years ago.
Mhm.
Let's say that somebody calls you and wants you to do a 9-month tour. Could you guys pull it off?
It's a great question. I mean, could we pull it off?
Logistics.
Of course, I believe we could pull it off.
We're in the. I tell. I won't get into specifics, I guess, but like if those conversations had happened, something that I definitely would have. I'm like he has a kid, and so does Peter, and so I know that how these things work is always a matter of logistics, and so I want to make sure that whoever we'd be doing that with is aware. Like either you're flying these dudes back every weekend,
That's
every week,
Well-
or you're bringing more people on the road.
Sure.
Like that's it.
Well,
'Cause, like,
that's one of those things though. When you go on the
Yeah.
road, though, you don't get to call too many shots at the beginning.
Right.
yeah. Well,
uh,
then they won't be doing it.
Well, you
That's
just
our
simply
model.
don't get
Yeah.
to. Later on, you get to call the shots, but in the beginning, you simply won't.
I think the
Oh,
short
they work
answer
with
is we'll deal with that when we get there. We've definitely thought about it. I mean, we just got back from Austin, Texas, and so we definitely have experience with going cross country and everything. But at the end of the day, we don't like to get too caught up in hypotheticals or what ifs. Like right now, we're trying to plan our next 2 releases and video shoots.
And
if
we're
I
doing all
added-
this stuff like without. I've worked with a major record label before as a songwriter, and like I just don't. the things that we're doing, the things that a label would be doing for us or a tour management company are just things that we're doing already. We'd just be offloading a burden and then taking on more shows probably because that burden is gone. But I think we have a nice balance right now, and until somebody doesn't enjoy the balance, I just don't even see a reason to.
And it works for you guys, right? So
Yeah, and we keep way more money.
yeah,
You know, obviously,
Yeah.
You
not
can-
having to-
it really comes down to money.
he doesn't have a booking fee,
Yeah.
right?
You can do a lot better job of riding the bull if you stop focusing on if you're going to fall off or
Right.
not.
Yeah.
You know?
Just hold on, you'll be all right, or
Yeah.
you won't. Who cares?
Let me digress back a little bit. Indecent Proposal just played South by Southwest in Texas.
Yep. Austin, Texas.
And I rated to Terry a week ago. I had a first cousin who played there a few years ago, was invited to play and stuff. But give me the heads up on that story with your appearance there.
Yeah, so basically, we work with a promotional company that helps us with promoting our music when we release it. That's one big mistake that a lot of artists tend to make is they just think they can put their music out online and
Yeah,
you know,
marketing
just
don't mean like find some rinky-dink dude
fly
around
away,
here
you know?
who like. And I'm not hating on anybody in Duluth, right? I'm
Right.
just saying like don't find some rinky-dink like small town guy who's like, well, I'm good at building websites or whatever. Like go find your nearest big city. Find your nearest big city. See what music promotional or music marketing, not management, music marketing companies are out there.
Mhm.
Pick a package, build a relationship, go to the bank.
Well, right.
Like that's
You were saying.
stick
Yeah,
with it.
but so anyways, we work with that company, and that company has a long-standing relationship with a number of venues
Okay.
at South by Southwest, and so every year they feature a showcase of their artists, you know, just like a record label might for
Sure.
their artists. And so we have done 3 releases with them, and they all went very well, and so they just reached out to us and they said, listen, we think you guys are the guys. We want to have you as part of our showcase. Would you come down? And we're like, of course.
Yeah, let me think
Yes,
about that.
please.
Yes. Yeah. So,
No, just
Not
briefly,
really.
just tell me about the feedback you got at the show.
Oh, it was phenomenal.
It's 3 shows.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
3 shows
Okay.
each night, and yeah, people were just blown away. Honestly, it was very. I don't want to say it was the opposite of the Twin Ports because like people love us in the Twin Ports, but we also feel like locally here they're like, oh, that's just that band that's been doing gigs down at RT.
It's definitely a lot like going in the hot tub for like too long, and you go in the pool,
Yeah.
and then you got to go back in the hot. It's
But see,
refreshing.
you're always going to get that in your hometown.
Right?
That's why bands don't stick around their hometown.
No, totally.
Yeah,
And
somebody's
so-
got to change the stigma.
Yeah, so it was really eye-opening.
you love me, Duluth.
It was really eye-opening just to see how amazed people were with us. You know, like I remember we just started playing it at this one venue, and not even before Josh started getting up to the mic to even sing this, the group of ladies were just screaming at the top of their lungs, and like there's literally on camera we have a
Was
video
this the night
footage
that I didn't
of
have
this
my
guy.
shorts?
Well, oh no.
Okay, there was a night
But
I didn't
there-
have my
this is-
shorts, so I
this-
just wearing underwear.
this-
This is
there,
the
yeah.
time when there was a guy peeking through the window behind
Oh yeah,
Kevin. He
second
was
night.
like, who's in there or whatever, you know?
Yeah,
So
we got
there-
footage of that guy. If you want to see it, go check out our website.
Yeah.
see, that's a great litmus test because when you're here in the fishbowl, you're always going to have people that tell you, "Oh, you're great, you're whatever." But if you can't look outside the fishbowl, nobody's looking in, right?
Right.
So when you finally move out of that venue and you move somewhere else, and you're kind of,
Mhm.
and
That's
then
good.
Then you finally,
That's
you go
good.
out on stage and you're like,
That's a learning point.
Yeah.
what's this going to be like? Is this going to be crash or burn? Or are we going to fly high here? And it sounds like you guys just knocked it out of the park. So that's
Yeah,
the
it was
true
great.
test,
It was great. I mean, it helps too when you're already used to gigging
Right.
every week.
Yeah, the gigs didn't feel like playing the gig didn't feel different than anything else, obviously, and because the locations were fairly similar feeling, so it wasn't like super foreign. It's not like everybody's running in ears all of a sudden and like you're 50 feet away from each other. Like it was just like doing another gig, but just in. We didn't have to wear jackets outside.
Now, let me go back for all of you and bring it back to really what we've done with Boom Shoes, because we started out with a wider focus. And I don't know if we really had a focus per se, but now we call it the video connection because, as you would know, and we all know, and I'm from the beginning of it, if you go back to watching Bill Haley and Buddy Holly and Ricky Nelson, now those were done
Ricky
on
Sundstrom.
film and everything, but they were the biggest and hottest things going. It brought rock and roll into what it is. And nowadays, there's simply, you cannot be a rock and roll band of any stature and not do video or videos.
Sure.
And hence, you guys have produced some really, really slick and nice videos. We're all quite impressed. And I just want to go down the list because all of you can find these on YouTube and on their website. One is Late in the Morning. Now, when was that one done?
That one was done, I think, last summer.
The video?
Like June, I think.
Late in
Video,
the Morning.
Yeah, video last
Yeah.
summer.
Okay.
I think
All right.
it was last June or something.
Last year. Now, Feeling Good?
Feeling Good was our first one, and I believe that was when you and I first met.
That would be before June.
So that was like
Are you talking about the video? Yeah.
The
That was
videos,
like
yes.
April or March. It was early in the year because we did 3 releases all in 1 year.
Okay, and then lastly, Behind Her Eyes, which seems to be getting a lot of attention.
That released November 15th.
Okay, all right, cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. Now, Sammy, we were talking about, and we made the point that, of course, for Sammy and I, it's our alma mater. I mean, we went there and we
Smile
know
when you
that.
say that.
We know the room and we know the auditorium and the stage and the whatever.
Mhm.
It's quite fun to see
I'm
it.
a rail baby.
It's quite fun to see. I tell you what, I just personally, from a director's point of view, Late in the Morning to me brings a little bit more natural to me, although Behind Her Eyes was splendidly thought out and well executed. And the only thing I'm going to say now, as a critic, I'm going to be a critic for just a second. You're going to have to.
Hey,
You're going to have to.
we were wondering where the
Is
critics
that on
are.
your
you're
little
gonna-
piece of paper?
Yeah,
Be a
you're-
critic?
you're gonna-
Really, Jeff?
You're going to really have to suck this up.
It's our show, man.
Yeah, we can say whatever.
It's
we
our
want.
show.
Thanks, Sammy. I'll just let these guys know. And no, listen. Wonderful concept, wonderful shooting, everything. I thought that lovely, lovely girl who was in that, starred in that. I think to me she should have been really focused on the lyrics of your tune, and I don't think as she came through the video that the lyrics were coming through here like should have come out of her, so to speak.
Sure.
It was. You can't say it wasn't good because it was good.
Yeah.
It's just I wanted more emotion to connect with her and the message coming from the band, which is the message in the song itself, of course. 'Cause
Right.
every song has a message, no matter what. But
Not true.
um,
Not my song.
no,
I
no.
played it
You can give
backwards.
them your own message for you, but
At,
like I
at
don't write
any
them
rate,
with them.
at any rate,
Not
everyone, listen. We're going to play Late in the Morning for you right now. We want you to see this start to finish. It's wonderful. It's indicative of this new up and coming Northland Legend group, Indecent Proposal. We're going to be back in that fast.
downtown, and it shows. She wastes her time downtown, and she knows. She waits for love downtown, and it shows.
We are back here with Boom Juice and our special guests, Indecent Proposal.
Present.
Present. Yeah. Present. So we're going to dig in a little deeper here into your background and tell us a little bit about how you came to produce your first video. I mean, what did that really entail? So you came up with an idea, you sat around, you thought about it, say, hey, let's shoot a vid. Tell us about that. Tell us how it came to fruition.
So actually what I'll do is I'll tell you the story of our second music video, which was Late in the Morning. And the reason I want to tell you about that song is because that actually was the first song we ever wrote together.
Okay.
And everything applies to all the videos. Same staff, same director, same.
So you use the same production for all of your videos.
Yep.
Okay.
Everybody stays consistent. But anyways, so to tell you that story, I'll tell you a little bit about where the band came from. Basically, Josh was in an acoustic trio called Brown and White for some time, and he performed with Jevin, who mostly played on the cajon at that time. But
because the lead singer of that group, the other guy, was a drummer by trade, and I always think that he was jealous of Jevin on the drum kit, so he kept him on the cajon.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I knew you were a drummer from back in the day. So
I think I'll tell you the other guy's name off camera, and you'll be like, oh, yeah.
I know all the cats in town.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, so I went and I saw them play at what formerly was the Blind Pig in town. Old Duluth City Hall.
Sound Eatery.
It was the Sound at that point in time. Never mind, I stand corrected. But anyways, thought they were great, and so I followed them. I went to multiple of their shows, and eventually
followed them. They pulled in the driveway. I got out, walked in the door.
And eventually, I just was like, I had played bass in high school when I went to Denfeld, but that was 10 years ago at the time. And so finally, I was just like, you know what? I want to do what these guys are doing. They're playing great music. It's a lot of fun. And like, I don't have an ego about it. I just want to play music. That's all I care about.
Sure.
And so I hit them up and asked them if they wanted to jam with a bass player, and they agreed to. Came over to my house. We jammed, and then they broke up. And so
that first jam was not great because that other band that I was in was in that he was a fan of was in the process of breaking up.
Yeah.
So he was like all excited to like jam with me. Like, oh, yeah.
So you were walking into a divorce here, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Okay.
He walked
I was
into
like, oh my God, I'm finally going to have a family.
I mean, that doesn't sound familiar, does it, at all? Band's breaking up.
Yeah.
I'm just showing up drunk. Jevin's like, he's not normally like this when he's like not depressed.
Yeah.
Who ever heard of such a thing?
Yeah. So then, anyways, that other counterpart to Josh, Josh White, ultimately, he asked me to form a 90s cover band with him and Jevin, our drummer.
Cat's out the bag, I guess. His name's
Once
Josh
again,
White.
I was just like, hey, I'm just looking to play music. Yeah, let's do it. And so we learned about 30 songs together, and before we played our first gig.
Cover songs.
Yeah, all cover songs.
Okay.
Then after, when we were about to play our first gig, he up and just canceled for no reason. He just quit. He was just like, I'm out.
There's a reason.
Yeah, failure to lift off, yeah.
And so then Jevin and I were like, well, what the heck do we do now? And so Jevin said, let's hit up Josh Brown And Josh said, "Hey, I'm down to play in a band, but like I'm not playing a cover band. I'm not doing no '90s cover stuff. I want to write my own music and all that."
At this time, I have a catalog of all the stuff that I hadn't sold to the record label that I worked with. We're talking 30 or 40 songs. I just don't have anything to do with,
Okay.
Right.
So I'm past, at this point, I'm past like coffee shop, little gigs. Like, I'm not starting from that point. I'm starting from a little bit further from.
Yeah. So then we had a Skype meeting or whatever you want to call it, and he just basically asked me what I want out of this because he was sick and tired of working with people who came in with their egos and wanted to run the show
Or their money, thinking their money was gonna make the band, like, oh, I'm rich, and it's like that doesn't matter.
Well,
It doesn't matter.
You see that everywhere on the
It matters
scene.
when you get to marketing, sure. Then it's important, but at the beginning, how does that matter?
Well, money is not so much a detraction as people with egos, because I've battled with that since day one.
Yeah.
People with egos, I got no time for them.
Right.
At any rate, continue on.
Yeah. So then after that successful Skype meeting where our ideas aligned, and he understood that I wasn't out to do anything other than play great music, he was like, "Yeah, let's do this." Came over to my place, and he started setting up his computer. We were going to start writing some ideas down and starting to form this thing. And as we're plugging in, I was warming up on the bass, and I was just playing a riff that I had just jammed on earlier, and it was the main riff to Late in the Morning. And so he just said, "Keep playing that," and he kept hooking up his equipment. We recorded just me playing that bass line, and then we just started building it up. And over the next few hours, really, the song was finished that day. We didn't record the final version at that time.
But you got a
But-
demo tape.
So like
on
a
it.
year later.
Yeah, but we had it all put together to the point where we could perform it for anybody.
Wow.
So let me go back to that. Who was your director there? Because I thought it was an outstandingly good job.
Oh yeah, so on the music video is my longtime friend and colleague Manny Villanueva. I worked with him at AT&T some years ago, but we've got various connections throughout the Twin Ports, and so he's an excellent videographer. Obviously, his work speaks for himself, but his main line of work is he actually shoots wedding videos for extremely high-end clients who are paying
Yeah.
$30,000-$50,000 for wedding videography services.
Yeah.
And so he gets to see all these exotic
So if you're trying to
places.
hire Manny, that's how much he costs.
Yeah, he's not cheap by any means. It's so funny because I've had other bands and whatnot reach out to us and been like, "Hey, can we get his contact information? How much does that run you?" And I give them a number, and I lowball it.
Floors them. Yeah.
And they're just like, "Whoa, okay. No, I think we're going to go see what these other guys can do." But it's like, it doesn't matter what the price is because it's quality.
Right.
And so we can go out there and churn 3, 4, 5, 6 gigs a month. And those gigs, as long as we don't take home any money, that can pay for that service.
Sure.
And so that's a big reason for our success is we don't take home any profits ever.
So you put that back into your band coffers.
Every dollar.
Yeah, and I mean, I want to be 100% with people, like, so, because like if I was listening to this, I would say the same thing. But like if I were like a band in this band, when I was starting 10 years ago, I'd be like, yeah, well, I need money to live. I take money from the band sometimes. I'll be like, hey, Terry, I need like $40-$60 for some bill.
Yeah, you do
He'll
draw.
send me money from the band. You can do that. We're not saying like don't eat. We're just saying 90%, like whatever the bigger percentage is that you figure out of your band budget that you're not doing things with, reinvest
Well,
it.
your point is you're doing just the opposite of what bands do.
Right.
Because I know bands and I know musicians and I know how much they have gotten paid from back in the 70s till now, and I find it, quite honestly, they're not getting paid enough, but that's a different story.
Sure.
The thing is, I've been with bands for years, and I was promoting them and helping them, and I did photography, and I said, hey, look you guys need to do a poster or something, Way back in the 70s, I had a really cool poster made, and it was artistic and half toned and everything. And I think it was something like 60 or $80. Now I'm talking cardboard.
Yeah.
This side, black
Full
and
size.
white.
Yeah.
These guys, of course, they didn't get in my face about it, but they all had their noses in the air, like $60, fucking $60.
Yeah.
Well, that's
you
like
know
$400
what?
now.
You know what? You know what? Here, let me tell you the point. Here's the difference, kids. In Decent Proposal, they take their pay and they reinvest it
That's-
because you're not going to have to do it forever.
Right.
Yeah, if you see the light at the end of the tunnel and you invest in yourself and your product and what you're pushing out,
Even if you don't see
Good
the
things-
light, you ain't never gonna unless you start
yeah, good
reinvesting.
things
You
are
know,
going to come
Well,
eventually.
don't
also-
guess, try.
Yeah.
Well, also you form bonds and relationships, and you nurture those relationships with these great talents like Manny, our videographer. But the list definitely doesn't end there.
Sound Central is
Uh,
who does like all of our lighting. Like if
Sure.
if you ever think
Right.
something looks
We know
cool, like
those,
oh,
we know
that's
those
we know all
cool.
those
guys. We
guys.
know
But when-
these cats.
When you nurture these relationships,
Shout out Scott Lilou.
a lot of them don't really want to charge you full price because they just want to be a part of the ride. They want to be a part of the brand. They want to help build it, and it's exciting for them. And so we nurture that and we encourage it.
We make sure that also everybody knows we are paying you what our full price is. The most we can pay you, that's what we're paying you. And when that
Yeah,
meets,
but
when that meets,
that's fair. That's,
yeah.
I mean, what the heck? That's fair. That's
Yeah.
totally
Yeah,
fair.
we
even
just-
if it's not what you're used to, like, we're going to give you as much as we can. If you're discounting us, just rest
Yeah.
assured. At a
Right.
certain point, we will get to your normal rate, and then we will surpass
Yeah, we
it
just-
if you're doing good work.
We just hired a partner to work with us on some upcoming stuff.
Capture
and-
Chaos Productions.
and, and they have
It's my job.
their pricing is rather high, but it's only rather high because of what musicians in the area here in the Twin Ports can realistically make.
Right.
But it's not that their quality of their work is not worth it. And I made that very clear with them. I'm like, you guys deserve to get paid what your rates are. However, the reality of this situation, if you want to work with us, this is the amount of money that you're going to be able to get. Are you okay with that? And if you're not, that's okay. But we'd love to work with you.
Mhm.
And a lot of those relationships, they form that way.
And that's a fair pitch too. I mean, if you're willing to beg, borrow, and barter
Yeah.
a bit, just see what bites.
Yeah.
We're,
Well, I'll just sidebar this thing with hiring professionals, paying the rate. Our associate producer here has been in the sound business for probably close to 50 years. His name is Brian Hull, and he knows the Sound Central. He had a big multi-million-dollar sound company.
Okay.
He's played all over the country, but he'll tell you, you really get what you pay for. And now here's the guy, same thing what you said. He will take, he knows he's worth this much, but he will take this much because he wants to do your show. He wants you to sound good. And
Right.
believe me, this guy is, he's a high ender. He'll make you sound good. And, if you're ever in need, we can talk later. But
Okay.
let me tell you, this is cats up here,
have your people
not
talk
cats
to our
down here.
peoples.
Yeah.
I'm our people's.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah. At any
Well,
rate,
we're
go-
always in need. And that's another motto of our band is like, we're never going to turn away anybody who ever is willing to work with us. Like, we will find a place to fit you in. If it's not today, maybe tomorrow, maybe next month.
Well,
Keep it in the Rolodex.
Maybe in like 89
I-
years or something.
I just want to throw this out to you because he's done sound for all manner of bands, all tiers of bands. So like if you guys in a fix for a sound guy that you can work with,
yeah.
we'll talk about it. But that's
Yeah, definitely.
that's down the road here a little bit. Back to the videos. We can already see that the importance of videos in this. Now, you were mentioning, as we talked a few days ago, you've got a couple of shoots coming up. What about that?
Yeah. So we are shooting at two local landmarks here in the Twin Ports. You mentioned Buddy Holly earlier. We are going to be shooting one of those music videos at the Duluth Armory.
That's quite interesting. I know the administrators out there. Yes.
Yeah, so that's been in the works for a while, and it was very important to us that we got in there before they remodeled it.
Yeah.
We want it to be in its current rugged.
Grungy state.
Yes, exactly. And so that's going to be very exciting. We've now that we're really learning how to really produce these videos, we're really becoming dangerous, shall we say? And so this one,
Strike me down, Anakin.
we've got more than a dozen people a part of this production crew on this next one. So
There
it's
will
gonna
be sandwich platters.
It's going to be quite. It's going to be quite the ordeal. But so excited for it.
Yeah.
And then that same week, we're also shooting another music video for another upcoming release at the William A. Irvin.
Oh,
And that
very
same
cool.
week, we're also playing Homegrown.
Yeah.
So you guys are doing essentially two video shoots and homegrown
Yep.
in 1 week.
Yep.
The
That's
little chicken festival.
And
that's
so
that's ambitious.
yeah, the William A. Irvin shoot is going to be in the cargo hold of the William A.
Mhm.
Irvin. We're
Okay.
not going to be focusing on the William A. Irvin at all. Like our goal in the music video is for you to not even understand.
We
it's at the
needed a
William
big
Irvin.
black room.
We just want a big dark
Essentially.
room.
I get the whole thing. I
Yeah.
get the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yes. No, really quite interesting, and that's great fun. I just want to mention to you that I've been out to the Army shooting little videos here and there, but you know, that dressing room in its almost ancient state, as we might call it, is still there, and that's the room that
Right.
all these people. Buddy Holly was in it, and Tillotson was in it, and all manner of people. The Supremes played here, and
Oh yeah.
and everything. They were in that room. So what I envision as part of your video is you cats sitting around that dressing room, just lounging in that dressing room, but it's the very same dressing room
Yeah, take it in, man.
that your
Maybe.
forefathers were in, so to speak.
Well, it's super funny you say that because when we shot Behind Her Eyes at Denfeld, you know, Johnny Cash has performed there,
Right.
Nat King
Right.
Cole.
Right?
And so I made the joke. I was like, when I went to the bathroom in the green room, I was like, man, Johnny Cash might have just dropped a deuce in his toilet many years ago.
Probably did a few lines there.
Yeah, exactly.
Green room, yeah, so-
There is a shelf above the toilet. And I'm
I know.
like, what practical purpose does this have for a high school auditorium?
I think it'd be
Must have been
like.
installed for Johnny when he came.
I think it'd be mostly just for people who know where it is and location, because it's definitely not a theme. We're not
Well,
focusing on the
yeah.
historical aspect.
Well, it
and also personally for me, I'm just not like a Buddy Holly. I'm not
well,
a
it
fan of
it
any
isn't
of
even that. Your
So,
your
yeah.
your quest here is beyond any of that stuff.
Yeah,
The look, the grunge look, the old,
yeah.
the
That's
ripped
what I'm
up
saying,
floor, the walls that need repairs.
a little spongy.
This humongous stage. No,
Right.
no, I can see it all fitting in.
Yeah, Behind Her Eyes, we were going for the more romantic feel and kind of like a dream state. And so lighting up that auditorium in that beautiful purple and having that contrast with the chandeliers with that golden.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
I
When
thought
we
that
had
was
that
great.
place lit up, we
I
were
thought
just
that was
like,
great.
oh my gosh, this is so beautiful.
It was well done. It was
Yeah.
well done. It was
It was-
well done.
Long day.
No, really well done.
Yeah.
Fire department and everything.
Yeah, the fire department came right when we wrapped up. Like they didn't come in all throughout the entire shoot. We had hazers, fog machines going, dry ice, and then as we're packing everything up, we're just about to put the final load into the truck and take off for the night and go home. All of a sudden, the fire alarm goes off,
Oh, jeez.
and they come in and they're like, "All right, we gotta walk, a block that direction." We're like, we got all of our stuff. Can we just go?
Can we
Like,
just
I just
leave?
gotta grab
Yeah.
that stuff right there. He's like, "Nope, you gotta go." So we
Like,
went
what's
out.
the charge
and
if I walk past you?
yeah.
And they're like, it's like a $700 fine. I'm like,
we
we could do 5.
so then we stood outside on a November night, just
Get into like an
waiting
argument.
for the fire
The
department.
band's fighting. The fire department's
Yeah.
doing their thing. Scott Lillo's like looking at his watch.
I'll tell you what that's going to be. That's going to be one of your rock and roll stories down 10 and 20 years down
Yeah.
the road. And we're going to go, one of our very first video shoots.
Yeah.
And we got all done. It was beautiful. It was wonderful. We're all happy. And the fire alarm goes off.
Well, we got one for all of them. So we almost
Yeah.
late in the morning almost got shut down because, at least in Duluth, a lot that the parking ramp we shot on is very commonly used for like hip hop guys to go up. They go and mess around. They leave a big mess when they're shooting their music videos. And I can say whatever. I'm a hip hop artist. Also, we do that. It's annoying for the business. But the security guard came over and he was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" And we're like shooting a music video. He's like, "What kind?" I was like, it's rock music. It's rock. We're a rock band. He's like, "All right." right. So, but he had to watch for a little bit. And when we brought up the guitars, he's like, we brought up the guitars in like our trash bags. We like put the trash. He's like, okay, these guys are fine.
Guys, this interesting group. We're very pleased to have met you guys and brought you in here. Now, I just wanted to tell everybody too, because we're going to try to post this in a day or two here.
Mm-hmm.
But you've got a gig coming up in a new venue this Saturday at the Berg.
The Berg.
Is that what
Yeah,
it
yep, the
is?
bird.
20th and 1st, it appears. That's where it is, 20th Avenue
Yeah,
West.
it's
20th Avenue West and 1st here in Duluth.
By the old Legacy.
And on April 20th, Mr. D's.
At Mr. D's.
Yeah, we also play this Friday.
And okay,
Yeah,
well,
here.
this episode.
Oh yeah,
won't
this
be
Friday
ready
we play the Caddy Shack.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
Saturday, and
Something crazy happens. This is out on Thursday night.
Mr. D's on the 20th. We're gonna probably come out and bring a couple cameras just for the fun of it and
Okay.
put you in the archive. We really appreciate once again you guys doing this. This has been great fun. At some point when you're big stars, not today, but we'll bring you back into Boom Juice and we can reminisce about this.
Yeah.
Sammy, what do you got to say about these cats?
Hey, you know what? Like I said, we've been following you, behind a veil. So we've been
Behind
kind
a
of
veil.
silently following you, and we like what we see, and it follows along a lot of the great legacies that Jeff and I have watched forever, and
Nice.
keep on, man.
Listen, kids, if you want to get a hold of us, we said this before, Boom Juice, the podcast on Facebook, boomjuice50@gmail if you want to contact us. And then all of our episodes are on J Files Media on YouTube, J-Files Media on YouTube. You can see everything we've done. This new episode will be posted in just a few days. We invite you to look at it and share it and do whatever you want, comment. We'd love to hear from you. And we're happy to be back. I'm sorry we don't keep a consistent schedule, but you know what, Sammy? We're not going to.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's the deal, kids. We're out.
She's been out all night. No one ever treats her right. Treats her better than